Love yours. Love yours. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Don't be sleeping on your level, cause it's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Beauty. Goes for all y'all. It's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Let me explain. Yeah. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. And life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Does all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind? Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. Think being broke was better. A life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke was better. A life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. I ask for strength from the Lord up above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good, and touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt. Cashing minimal checks, turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tours. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived.
Hello. What's going on, everyone? Let's see here. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? I think my audio looks good over here. Oops. All right. Donna, what's going on? Donna, welcome in. Sam IMB, welcome in. Please tell me Sadie's little ears aren't sick again. I'm working a lot today, so if I don't get a chance, hello all, Ryan, Donna, Ella, if you're all here. Thank you, Sam. Whether you're here, whether you're not, thank you very much. We're gonna talk about Sadie real quick here in a second. You wanna get up in your makeshift bed? Come on. Let's sit. Sit. All right, good girl. She's a little out of it still. Sadie. You all right? You gonna lay down? Let me get through the chat and then I will give you guys the quick Sadie update and then we'll jump right into everything. Tina, what's going on? Tina, welcome in. Donna, thank you very much for always saying like and subscribe on your way in. I appreciate you, Donna. Chapped ass, just got back from radiation, so I'll be supporting you from the shadows. Chapped ass, I hope everything is well with your health and, you know, any medical stuff you're going through, I hope it gets ironed out as smooth as possible for you. Bet Not Broken, welcome in. C with the 413, what's going on? You sound good, Brian. You're just trying to fuck with me today, C, aren't you? I just saw the text. Corey Lee, hello, welcome in. Coffee is Bay, welcome in. Aria, hello, welcome in, Aria. Aria, I'll be interested to hear if you see less of those messages today, the ones showing like hide or show or hide message, the ones that are being like auto restricted by YouTube. I'm hoping that the setting I changed from normal chat moderation to none, I'm hoping that just took some time to kick in, and now hopefully on today's stream it won't do that at fucking all. But who the hell knows with YouTube? Anyways, so I basically I took Sadie. I finished chemo in January and was diagnosed last April. This is the easiest part, but it's still tiring. Thank you for your well wishes. I'll be okay. It's all rough. I've never personally experienced it. Nobody in my immediate family has experienced it, but my ex-mother-in-law just went through a lot of cancer shit, and that shit is serious. It's hardcore. I had never seen cancer in my life until her, and that shit is ugly. The only word I can come up with for cancer, seeing it for the first time in my life just 4 or 5 years ago, is that shit is ugly. It's disgusting. So I'm glad everything went smooth for you and you're on the back nine, but yeah, I'm glad you made it through the tough part. Sharon, welcome in. Alzy, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, so Sadie's all right. She's drowsy. And basically so the new vet today finally did the full procedure. They put her under because they couldn't get to her ears without putting her to sleep. They put her under, and then they called me. Well, first of all, they called me an hour later to ask me about a vaccination, which scared the shit out of me because it's like they're calling me in 1 hour. Like they already told me it was going to be the afternoon. So I'm like, something must be wrong. Something's wrong. So I pick up and they're like, yeah, we're just wondering, there's a vaccination due in 6 weeks. Do you want us to just do that now while she's under? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys scared the shit out of me. So, don't call me. Yeah, exactly. See, they told me between noon and 1. I walked out of there at 7:45, and they're calling me at 8:20 to 8:30. So, blah, blah, blah. It was just a question about a vaccine. So, the doctor calls me at noon, says she's all right, she's up and walking, everything's good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, great. She's like, okay, here's the thing, though. Her right ear is okay. We cleaned it. That one's fine. The left ear, she has narrow ear canals. And I've known that since she was a puppy. When I got her at 8 weeks old, the vet that had already saw her said she's going to have ear issues as an adult. So I already kind of knew she was going to have ear issues. Come on, turn. So I already kind of knew she was going to have ear issues because it's not the exterior ear, but it's the canal is narrow. And like she has like awkward curves to her ear canal. So they weren't able to look at her left eardrum. And as they were cleaning it out, there was a lot of blood and there was a lot of like pus and shit. So they weren't able to see the eardrum, which they're speculating that there's a good chance that eardrum is probably ruptured. So because if the eardrum is ruptured, then basically they can't give her any eardrop medications, which is what she really needs. So she's going to be on steroids for 2 weeks. I have to bring her back there, and they're basically going to perform the same procedure they did today to see if anything has cleared up. If it has, and they can see the eardrum is not ruptured, great. Then she can go on the medication, and that'll help clear her up right now. If they can't see the eardrum, or they see that it's ruptured, then she's got to go to a specialist. They already have me make the appointment for the specialist. They pretty much want me to go there either way. So I have 2 appointments right now. One back at my vet and one at a new specialist, which is a little bit of a drive away from me where I live. So basically right now she's on meds for 2 weeks. I'll be going back to my vet in 2 weeks. The specialist appointment, I'm waiting for them to call me back with an appointment. But yeah, it sucks. I part of me wonders, like if the other vet didn't fuck me around so much and I went there for 3 times and then had to make an appointment with the new vet. I'm wondering if she got seen a month earlier because of that other vet dicking me around. If, maybe her ears wouldn't have been as bad, but who really knows? Let me turn off this music. Can animals get insurance in the States? Yes, they can. I haven't looked into it. I should look into it because, yeah, this is going to cost me. Not only is it going to cost me a lot of money, but I still have 30 days left on the old vet, which was a monthly plan for X amount of dollars per month. And so I'm still paying that vet for 1 more month because it was supposed to be like an insurance plan through them, except they were also charging me on top of the monthly insurance plan through them. So I'm still paying another month of the insurance plan through the old vet. This is the second appointment that I've had at the new vet. I got to go back in 2 weeks to the new vet, and then we got to see a specialist, which that'll probably be 4 to 6 weeks until we see the specialist. The reason why I haven't done the pet insurance thing is because I'm just so worried to pay something and still have to pay like I did at my last vet. I was paying $250 or $275 a month for what I thought was supposed to be free care for that whole 12 months that I was paying. But all it covered was the office visits, which takes $100 off of my, bill, basically, essentially. I still have to pay for everything else they do other than the office visit. So if they take blood, if they clean her ears, if they take a sample, if they give me meds, all of that was extra money on top of the $250, $275 a month I was paying at the old place. So that's why I'm skeptical to get an insurance plan, because I don't want to get roped into some bullshit where I'm paying whatever a month and then I go to the vet and I still have to pay out of pocket. So I'm just skeptical. Let's see. Where did I leave off? In chat? Bless her heart. I feel so bad for her. I've had a ruptured eardrum thanks to my ex, and it hurt. I had to have surgery. Donna, so I ruptured my eardrum like 3 years ago, actually with a fucking Q-tip. And it fucking was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I broke my pelvis, shoulder, wrists, ankles on motocross and crotch rockets. And the eardrum was probably the worst pain I ever felt in my life. I couldn't get out of bed for like 7 to 8 days. It was excruciating. All I could do was sleep, take meds to make me sleep. Ryan, is she in pain, or what made you bring her to in the first place, I guess is my question. See, so like I said, so she had ear problems since a puppy, and I knew that when I got her at like 8 or 9 weeks or 10 weeks, however old she was when I got her. It was 8, 9, or 10 weeks. So I knew that she was gonna have ear troubles. So I always kept an eye on her ears. And around the age of 3 to 4 months old, the one side, the same side that's bad now, would gunk up quick. So I used to clean her ears like every 7 to 10 days. And I did that until she was about 9 months old. And then the other side started getting dirty. So then I was cleaning both sides every 7 days. And then sometime around 7 weeks ago, she wouldn't let me touch them anymore. Every time I'd touch them, she'd start showing her teeth and run away and hide. So I was like, okay, she's in pain, like, because I've been cleaning her ears every week. Yeah, not that she loved it ever, but she wouldn't act like she did as of recently. Oh, it looks nice and comfy though. Hope for a speedy recovery. I hope everything. Thank you, Rando. I appreciate you, Rando. Welcome in. Lucifer, welcome in. Who else came in? Just take my word for it. It's absolutely not worth it unless you have multiple animals under the same policy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go for it because... CJ, what's going on, CJ? Welcome in, brother. CJ, I got to get your Facebook. I remembered the other night that you had asked for my Instagram on a comment. That like literally randomly came to me the other night. Email me, CJ, when you get a chance. No rush. Gino, welcome in. Crab Life, welcome in. Just saw your TikTok about Sadie. Saw you're live. Hope Sadie is doing well. I had a dog with chronic ear infections. It's a hard task. Yeah, I mean, Crab Life, welcome in. Thank you. I pretty much accepted when I got her that I was going to have to deal with the ear things. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's not good when you can't get their ears because they don't want you to touch it. So that's why I brought her in. But it is what it is. She'll get taken care of. And I don't necessarily think she's in like bad pain when her ears aren't being messed with. Okay, let's get to the content. Barry Girl, welcome in. Thank you, Barry Girl. Appreciate it. We're gonna get to the content right now, guys. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and ramble too long. So, back when Shani and Rev were breaking up, there was the stream that Repzion did. Kristen, what's going on? Welcome in. I appreciate you, Kristen. I hope everything's well with you. Back when, all the chaos was going on with Rev and Shani, Repzion did an interview with Jason. The exact date was January 9th. So this was right after Shani was taken, I think. Let me double check the last day Shani streamed, just so I can be factual with that information. Shani's last live stream, which was either the same day that she left. Okay, Shani's last stream was the 7th. So this Repzion stream was like a day, 1 to 2 days after Shani left. And I watched like little bits and pieces of this stream, but I never saw the whole stream in entirety. And the little bits and pieces that I saw were pretty fucking good. From what I saw, it doesn't seem like he babies Jason too much. Like, I don't think he softballed him. And I think that he kept it real. And the reason why I think Jason didn't run away was because this is a channel with 718,000 subscribers. I don't think this guy does the same views that he used to do. But it's a huge fucking channel either way. Kay Elise, welcome in. He definitely let him know he was disappointed in him. Yes, exactly. He was respectful about it. I commend the way he went, at least from what I saw. I commend the way he went about it. So let's even see the intro, because I don't even know, like, I haven't even watched this. All right, so we'll put it in 1.5 speed to start, and we'll slow it down if we need to. Maybe I should unmute it.
Howdy, hi, how. So today we have Revelation News, also known as Jason, the ex of Shani for Christ. Before we start, though, this is going to be a completely off-the-cuff type of interview. All right, I have some questions that I wrote out, but I'm probably not going to follow those questions. I want this to be a very.
Sin, welcome in. Yeah, I'm tired. I was up at like 4:45 today because Sadie had to be at the vet office at 7, and I had to give her meds 2 hours before that appointment. And I didn't go to bed too early. I went to bed at like midnight last night, so I slept like 5 hours. Plus, I'm still not caught up with all the fucking snow plowing that's been done the last week. But yeah, so here we go.
Natural type of interview.
Welcome in, Sin.
The fact that recently, if you've been catching up with the lol cow drama, Shani was 302'd recently, as in like 2 days ago. Her and her partner broke up, and it's been an ongoing toxic little battle they've been having in a house, and it has been. This
guy talks fast. Normally when I put it on 1.5 speed, you can understand somebody, no problem. It sounds like it's in double speed with him on 1.5. He talks fast. L Powers, welcome in. Good afternoon. Thank you for stopping in.
Very, very insane. It's been entertaining, insane, but also extremely toxic and unhealthy. So today I have Revelation News here. And if I look crazy or I sound really tired, it's because I had a 10-hour tattoo session yesterday, so I'm a little bit under the weather.
If you guys hear an echo, let me know. I'll put my headphones in.
So let's bring Revelation News on here. And here we go. Here's the man. People didn't think that you were going to show up. Why is that?
Probably because there's something going around, maybe in certain circles, that I intend on going back to that. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's zero chance that I can have any relationship with this person. I said to her, look, maybe we could be friends. She said, I'd never be friends with such an asshole like you. So I said, okay.
Okay, hang on. Rev's talking fast as shit as well. Let me go to normal speed, and he just comes in and fucking rips it. Like, he's in mania. All right, so let's restart to where Rev came on, because he came on and just started ripping.
So let's bring Revelation News on here. And here we go. Here's the man. People didn't think that you were going to show up. Why is that?
Probably because there's something going around, maybe in certain circles, that I intend on going back to that. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's zero chance that I can have any relationship with this person. I said to her, look, maybe we could be friends. She said, I'd never be friends with such an asshole like you. So I said, okay, all right.
I mean, let's be honest, though. Would you want to be friends with her after the fact? After everything that you've been through?
So he just used... People were accusing Jason, saying that Jason's going to go back to... Shani. He asked him, why were people saying that you probably weren't going to show up to this interview? And he just randomly fucking says, probably because people think that I'm going to date Shani again. Like, what? What does that have to do with what he asked? unless he thinks that, you know, Shani wouldn't want him doing this interview and he's trying to be a good boy for Shani, but I don't know. Wounded Puma, hello. Rev looks so old in this video. Yeah. When he's clean shaven, he like looks older. I don't know. I have a BPD diagnosis, a real one I can pull up in my medical chart. It always outraged me how Shani utilized the mental illness to excuse the abuse. Yeah, I there's been a handful of people in the community that have come out and said, like, I have BPD, and it's disgusting to me what she claims with the BPD shit. It's, if your mental health makes you do bad things, and in some people it does, you can't just keep acting on it and not be an adult and get some type of help, whether that be medication and therapy or the combination of both of those. You don't just get to keep behaving badly and say, yeah, well, it's my mental health, while you're doing absolutely fucking nothing to help your mental health. If someone told me Rev was 60, I wouldn't even question it. CJ, I guess, yeah, basing it strictly off of looking at him, yeah, I agree with that. I guess what makes me subconsciously view Shani and Rev as younger is how they act and not how they look. But yeah, just looking at that man on the screen right there, if someone said he's 60, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I believe it. Mueller of Giustepo, welcome in. Rev is looking very 16 going on 60.
Would you want to be genuinely?
It's a similar answer that I have for Gary G-Man. It's no, because I know she lied about me publicly. How can I trust? I can't. How can you trust people like that, Rep? Right? You can't. How can you really trust a person that you know went out in front of tons of people, however many people you might be talking to? Could be millions, could be two. But they lied to people about you directly to a camera. I mean,
that doesn't feel great for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that, have you ever lied for her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, that's good. That's great.
I'd go farther with that, but
you can't. No, you can. This is a free. What would be some things that you have lied about that now in retrospect you're like, wow, I should not have defended her?
The fact that she would get violent. I hid it. I hid it completely from everybody, including authorities. I hid it. That time that she put a scarlet A on my head, you guys saw a shiner on me. She popped me. She did. And it was pretty good hit. Pretty good hit. She's strong. Not anymore.
I don't remember him having a shiner. That we just went over that stream like a week ago. I don't remember him having a black eye. They are both ruined. Yeah, I agree with that. Ruby, welcome in, Ruby. Miss Bance, welcome in. Let him talk, Rep, for fuck's sakes. Side note, I'm gonna play this, but I'm gonna pull up that stream where he's where she puts the A on his forehead. I'm gonna pull that up real quick, and we're gonna switch over to that and just look at a still shot of his face real quick.
Pretty weak now because her spirit is just evil, man. I don't know.
Little T-Rex arms. I don't know. I saw her throw some things just a couple days ago. So
she threw a 2-liter Dr. Pepper bottle right at my head, man. And if that connected, that might have not been too good.
Oh my God!
Saying, you say so you lied about, or I should say, covered up domestic violence.
Honestly, yeah.
I would say that's a pretty normal thing if you're in a DV situation. Among people, if you are genuinely in a relationship, no matter how toxic or bad the relationship is, a lot of men will lie about covering up domestic violence. It's a thing. And women too. Women too. It's just, this is not specifically a gender thing. Like, it's a very common victim thing. It's kind of embarrassing. It's humiliating, right? To acknowledge the fact that you let somebody hit you and you don't want to. It's embarrassing for a lot of people to come out and talk about that.
The way that I felt about it was this. I justified it in my mind this way, that it's not her. It's her BPD. And
Oh, she has BPD.
oh, she was diagnosed.
So she was diagnosed with BPD. It's
That's
not
what
one
she
of the,
tells me.
Have
That's
you?
what she-
But in your 8-year relationship, did you ever see any like a medical document or something that? Yeah, see, I
Nope.
don't believe that.
Fair
I don't believe
enough.
that.
All right, so Tanner Rostifer, welcome in. Did I miss anyone else? Okay. Here's the night. Here's the stream.
There's been nothing that's happened here that would warrant.
I mean, actually, that eye that is closer to the camera, the lid, the top lid, does look red.
An issue being drawn. They
Is it just me, or does that eye, the one that is closer to the camera, like his head is turned like this? So I'm talking about this eye, the one that is closer to the camera. That the top eyelid there does kind of look red and maybe a little like inflamed compared to the other side. The other side doesn't look red at all.
they were doing what is a wellness check. Yeah, A for adultery.
Maybe the other side looks red
No,
too, though.
God told me to not do bad behaviors, and if I
I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm split on it. I'm 50-50. Part of it could be like they just don't fucking sleep right, and like his eyes are just all jacked up from being tired and drinking fucking loads of caffeine and smoking Delta 8 and whatever type of drugs they fuck with. So I don't know. If you told me he was punched in the eye, I would probably believe it, but I also am not 100% convinced on that. Okay, back to this.
I don't
That's
believe
fair
that because BPD is crazy, dude.
she said that she was diagnosed in the military, and that's why she was kicked out of the military. I've
She
heard
was in the military. This is why I
Basic.
want to talk to you. I've never heard of this. She was in the basic military training.
basic training for Navy, and they kicked her
Navy.
out. Yeah, they kicked her out because they gave her a mental evaluation, I guess, and it came out that she was BPD, and bye, you gotta go. You can't be in the military and be BPD, I guess, or at that time you couldn't.
I actually don't even know if do we have any military people in chat? That would be I
Yeah.
don't know. Can you go into the military if you have like a diagnosed? I know you can if you have diagnosed autism.
She
Like,
said to me also that her mother was discharged from the military because she was bipolar.
I
That's
mean,
what she told me.
I don't know. I can't really visualize Shani ever joining the military. When would that have happened? Had she like even basic training? When that would have happened? When she's like 19? No, you got to be like 21, don't you? Or 18? You got to be 18 to join the military.
18.
So this is not fact. I got to get up in 2 seconds because the cats accidentally closed their cat door for the cat room and locked themselves in. Sadie, you don't have to get up. I got it. It says borderline personality disorder is generally considered a disqualifying condition for enlistment in the U.S. military, as it is viewed as a personality disorder that interferes with stability, teamwork, emotional regulation required for service. While waivers may exist for some mental health conditions, personality disorders are typically seen as deeply integrated patterns, making entry difficult. I don't know. That's a Google search. Who knows if that's like, fact or whatever, but I would believe it. I mean, I have anxiety that would definitely affect me going in the military. And, but anyways, but somebody said she showed her, Lucifer says she showed her mental evaluation. It didn't say BPD. I don't remember her showing that. It must have been a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know. So that would have been what year? She's 1 year older than me.
Yeah,
So
how old is she?
42,
She's 42. Really? Oh man. How old are you?
41.
Okay.
Right behind her. Less than a year.
I don't know if
actually.
I believe. I'm gonna watch this video, right? This video, I've actually never watched it all the way through. I've only gotten to around the 10-minute mark. Published a YouTube video quite a few years ago talking about Shani, and Jason is mentioned in it, and Chris.
Yep.
We're
Correct.
gonna live watch this video together. Because I think from the little bit that I've watched of it, it's and I just think it would be says so 8 years now, correct?
It
That's a long time.
mark abuse, and I was completely
'Cause when you're in a relationship that long, for the most part, I've and speaking from experience here, you become codependent on a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's my experience, Rep. Yeah.
would
Yep.
you say
Jason, you were codependent on her from day fucking one. You bought her a goddamn vehicle so that she could drive out to you. Like, I don't know. I almost feel like at first he didn't want her to come and she just pushed it so goddamn hard he didn't know how to tell her no. Because if you see Jason in like public interactions or with like random people or like, you know, random people on the internet at first, unless he's in like his like angry fucking mode, he is like super fucking nice, like overly nice to the point where like he will just let everyone walk right the fuck over him. Maybe he's afraid of disappointment. Maybe that has to do with some of his issues with whatever him and his mother, the relationship with him and his mother. Who knows?
that you were codependent on her?
Completely. When I went to jail, that was one of the hardest. Well, it's not great being in jail in the first place, but separation anxiety. Oh, yeah. I was really worried about her because I wasn't sure about the food situation. Were the kids going to go get food at Convenient and stuff? Because I was getting food at Giant driving. So I didn't know what the hell was going to happen with her. I was scared about that for her. Well, like, where is she going to get her food? Because G-Man couldn't be there all the time. So you want to call it codependent? Absolute, Rep, because she yanked me out of my house in Scranton and put me out in Colorado like a fish out of the water. And the first day that we ended up there, I had a psychotic break where I was looking into the sun, crying into the sun. I see Jesus Christ's hand in the sun just saying, take my hand, and I lost my mind.
So from his point of view, Shani came in, ripped him out of the home that he was living in for free, and Shani forced him to move out of there and go to Colorado. It's like he has no, he's literally a child. Shani kidnapped him. He's literally like a fucking child. Like, mommy comes in, mommy says, hey, we're moving out of here, son. And he's like, yes, mommy. That's it. He probably had no fucking pushback. He didn't learn how to tell her no until he started to resent her. And then his hate built and built and built and built until he was finally able to fucking put his foot down for some things.
I ran in the house and I was acting like the fucking Joker. It was out of hand, dude. There was one. I'm surprised she didn't live stream it, because if you guys got a taste of that, I was in a psychotic state, and it's because I was withdrawing from alcohol, and I have never felt anything like that. Rep.
Alcohol is a huge rehab, like alcohol rehabilitation.
You could call.
They live in a wet dream. Cascott, welcome in. Twan, welcome in. He was resistant to getting with her at first, but she was very persistent and he's weak. That's what I remembered as well. Like I remember like the panels of her being up there and being like, I'm calling for my brother Jason to be up here and he doesn't want to talk to me or blah, 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 blah. And it was very fucking strange the way it all went down. And then all of a sudden she's there and it's like they're fucking married. And like she thought to herself, well, he's telling me he's a virgin. I'll just fucking jerk him off and he'll never be able to say no to me again. And that pretty much went on for 5 years. Mixed by Kaz. Kaz, what's going on, brother? I hope you've been well.
What I've been to twice, a rehab of sorts, but it was in a behavioral health hospital.
Okay.
So it was like a combo of rehab type stuff in the structure of a behavioral hospital. That's what I went to. And I recommend it to everybody.
Lauren, welcome in. Off Dickinson, welcome in. Nobody escapes the gray.
It's a very good thing. If you can stand being in a situation that's a lot like high school and sort of prisony, but it's not, the bad places are like a prison. The good places are kind of like high school. There's structure. You have to go to groups. They'll lock your room and lock you out of your room if you don't go to groups, stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's very helpful, and I recommend that to everybody. But rehab, good rehab costs money, Rev.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does.
It really does.
How long were you in there for?
First time I went, I was there.
What do you mean it costs money, bro? You have free fucking insurance. You don't pay $1 for it. What are you talking about? It costs money.
A solid week. The second time I went, I was there 2 weeks, which was 4 groups a day, which is that's a lot of therapy, man. And it's good stuff. It's really good. Coping mechanisms, learning DBT with dialectic behavior therapy.
Could you imagine how fake Jason is in a rehab? He's probably in there acting like the star student. All the counselors and his caseworker, he's probably up their asses acting like, yeah, oh no, I'm turning my life around and that's it. That's it for me. I'm turning this train around and blah blah blah. And he'd be the known creep in rehab. Yeah, for sure. That as well. But he's in those classes. They're asking a question and he's like, oh, over here. Yeah, I got the perfect answer. Yeah, he'd be the tattletale too. He'd be the one like, hey, I think they're smoking cigarettes in room B, blah, blah, blah. Just so you know, I know that stuff's not allowed in here and I don't even want to be around it after he just came out of there taking a hit off of it.
DPT is pretty, it's very, very good.
Oh, it's awesome stuff. And CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. I've been through a bunch of shit. And the only thing I need to get right is the medications. Because they had me on.
So here's the thing. When you're doing that, when you're just doing lip service and you're just doing it as a facade, you're just doing it as a facade. What is my cat doing? Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. She's messing with my shoe boxes over in the closet. When you're just doing lip service at rehab and you're just trying to look like, play the role, but you're not really feeling it, you get out and nothing changes. Like it's just like, oh, thank God I'm out. You're the same. Everything's the same. You don't really start learning everything until you start absorbing. And when you're absorbing shit in a rehab, you're not happy. I mean, there'll be time. I'm not saying that you can't be happy at times, but you're not going to be walking through there like, ooh, like you're actually, you feel guilty. You feel like a piece of shit. You're weighing things. You're fucking, you know what I mean? There's just a lot going on mentally.
A lithium dose that I don't know, man. It made me feel weird.
Yeah, lithium's a wild medication to have. Man, you got a lot of haters in the chat right now. People are like, people do not like you.
That's all right, man. I understand why they don't. It's okay. And I understand that there's going to be a certain segment of people that saw what happened with that boy and they think it's something it wasn't. And it's just
you're referring to the child, the kid, which she calls
Zachary.
Zachary, the kid kicker thing, right? Correct.
Yeah, correct.
It is interesting about that situation is how Shanny.
I love that he said it that way. He didn't try to say he didn't try to bandage it up and say like the alleged child abuse. He was just like the kid kicker thing, right?
Completely refused to ever acknowledge that happened up until you guys broke up.
Isn't that funny? Wow! All of a sudden,
guys, look at this. Come on. Come on. Are you a little baby? You're such a good girl. You're just staring at me, too. You're such a good girl. All right.
Okay, hun. You know, it's a bad habit. I got to stop calling her hun. But that's just dishonest. Because if I kick that boy, how could she stay with me?
I swear there's a clip of you admitting that you hit the kid, though.
You're right. I admit that.
Him.
Yes, that striking happened. I do remember that. But it was just a couple pops on the head with my hand. And is that too much? Yeah. You're not supposed to do that, especially with an autistic son. You just don't discipline that way.
No, absolutely. I didn't even know the fact that Zachary was autistic, and that actually
makes it worse.
That's fucked up. That's super fucked up to hit an autistic kid.
Amber Marie, welcome in. Thank you, Aussie. Tina, I think I said hello earlier, but welcome in, Tina, if I didn't. Yeah, fur babies are the best.
And that's why they almost...
Yeah, Lauren, she's a little doll.
They were going to probably kill me in jail. That's why I had to go to solitary. Because the whole floor was on fire. This guy fucking did something to an autistic kid. Yeah, we're going to kill him tonight. They said that.
Thank you, Donna.
I mean...
I don't blame them, man. I don't blame them. Look, the circumstances of what were behind that night is that Shani had been just harassing me the whole day with bullshit, saying you're cheating, you're an asshole, I can't stand you, all this shit. So I was gaslit into a really bad mental state to start with, and I didn't have any medication. I wasn't drinking. So I was in a manic state, and it just happened, man. It just happened.
So you hit the kid with your hand, and you never kicked a kid?
Mm-mm. The kicking didn't happen, and the reason that I know it didn't is because I was wearing steel-toed boots. So if I kicked him, he would have not just gone to the hospital, but probably would have had a very serious injury of some sort. Okay? He would have had a ruptured something.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. There's no chance.
We do agree here that hitting a kid is just like deplorable, and this should never happen, correct?
I totally agree. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all children. You don't discipline that way. I don't agree with it. I don't.
Do you remember if you put any when you hit him in the head? Did you put any bruises or anything, or no?
Not that I was told about. No, Shani said he was fine. We didn't even take him to the hospital. That's what Shani told me.
Okay. Well, I just don't want it to be super downplayed. I'm glad that we agree that hitting a kid is not okay. It's just never acceptable. But
I fully take responsibility, and I apologize.
Miss Bands. Sorry, let me mute my thing. Okay, I should be muted now. Sorry about that. Miss Bands says Shani played her part. Oh, wait, did I even move my camera back? Shani played her part. You're goddamn fucking right. So the point is that the point that Jason is always targeted as being the kid kicker, and as he rightfully should be. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying stop doing that. I'm saying Shani needs to be called the same amount as him. Because let's just say that event was the only physical abuse those kids experienced during their time with Shani and Rev. Let's just hypothetically say that. I don't think it was. I just think it's the only time that Shani wasn't on his side when it happened. And that's why Jason got in trouble for it. But let's just say that was the only time. Physical. Because we obviously know that there was tons of mental abuse and tons of neglect. Tons of neglect. So, sorry, there was some banging outside that distracted me. Shani had the option to not let him back in the fucking house. And she chose Jason over her children. The one son was begging her to not let him move back in. And what did she do? She let him move back in. So she literally picked the child abuser over her children. Right. He streamed in the driveway. So as Shani was priming her audience for Jason's return, Jason was already there out in the driveway streaming, acting like he was just sleeping in his car in some random area. But he was already there. He was just streaming from the car. That was proven. One Buff Weed, what's going on? Welcome in. Morning Rue, welcome in, Morning Rue. No matter what the situation, no one can make me take out anger on my child. I'm calling bullshit. Fucking men. Amen, Morning Rue. Okay, where was I at? As Shani was priming her audience for Jason's return, he was out streaming in the car in the driveway, already home. Shani took more time and more care and consideration priming her audience for Jason's return than she took time to make sure her children were all right for Jason's return. She cared more about her audience not giving her backlash than she cared about how her children felt about him coming back. So every time Jason gets called a kid kicker, Shani should be called a child abuser the same amount.
Guys for it, and no. You need to be going to anger management hardcore if you even think for a second.
Well, for the future, if you ever date somebody again, you should not date somebody with children. Okay?
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Don't date somebody with children.
No, I agree completely.
Okay. Anyways, I want to ask you, how did you and Shani meet?
Oh, boy.
The origin of your relationship, was it through YouTube? Was it through Facebook? It was through YouTube?
It was through YouTube.
Okay.
I was a Christian end-time prophecy guy. And I can see that you
Christian prophecy guy?
Yep.
Like, what do you mean? Well, you had Revelation News. Yes, I remember that YouTube channel many years ago.
Like people, like everyone that's in here, right? We've been watching these two dipshits for so long. Everything just rolls right off our back. We're like, yeah, he thinks he's some fucking reverend, and Shani's the oracle of Jesus Christ, and basically they're the most anointed Christians in the United States. And we're just like, yeah, that's what they think. But Repzion doesn't follow like we do. And he's just like, what? When he says the community.
I was a Christian end-time prophecy guy. And I can see that you
Christian prophecy guy?
Yep.
Like, what do you mean? Well, you had Revelation News. Yes, I remember that YouTube.
Christian prophecy guy? Remember that terrifying AI thing he did as him as the woman saying he wanted to Aussie? That was fucked. That was weird. I wish somebody saved those somewhere. Let me double check real quick. Those were fucking nuts. That's the type of shit when somebody is found out to be like a serial killer and they're like, and here was the guy, he had a YouTube channel. Here's the creepy videos he made before going on this murder spree. Carrie has one of them on one of her streams. I just need a copy because, like, to find the right stream and then, go through the whole, it would take so long to do that. But if somebody backed it up, that'd be amazing. But it's just too much to find right now. I'll look for it outside of stream.
Channel many years ago.
Yep, that's me. And I had a radio show, and we got but I can see that you feel different about me now, Rep, with the boy thing. And
he's so concerned about how he feels because, like I said, this channel has 750,000 subscribers. And I really think it, well, no, I don't think, I know, because Jason said this. Repzion came on to Jules, I think it was Jules Tells All channel, while Jason was on the panel. And Jason was saying stuff like, oh man, I think we could have a real good show together. That's not word for word what he said, but that was like roughly what his point was. He was basically like, you know, glazing him and saying like, we would work great together. Like, oh man, you and me, we could really put on a show. Like, so I really think in Jason's mind, part of him thought he was going to come on here and crush this interview and think like me and Repzion might start doing a segment weekly now. And I think he's genuinely disappointed that Repzion is like learning about him for deep diving on him for the first time. And Repzion's facial expression is even changing the more he finds out. And we're only 15 fucking minutes into this. And Jason's just like, oh, I can already tell that you feel different about me.
Like, what do you mean? Well, you had Revelation News. Yes, I remember that YouTube channel many years ago.
Yep, that's me. And I had a radio show, and we got but I can see that you feel different about me now, Rep, with the boy thing, and that's too bad. But I understand it.
Well, the past is the past, but it's also super fucked up. Like, I'm not going to ignore that and be like, oh, you're the best person ever. I mean, there's just certain things that if you do, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to have a
like
friendship.
If I right now got up and kicked my cat that's in the background, I'm assuming you'd be like, wow,
what the fuck?
Yeah, you would. Your opinion would be just like, wow, that's really shitty, right? Like,
that's really shitty, sure. And it is really shitty what happened.
Everybody watching, including you would have your opinion would be like, it would change a little bit. I'm still going to talk with you. I'm still going to be fair with you, and we still want to talk to you. So, but anyways, let's get back to the subject. Shanny, how did you guys meet?
Yep, YouTube, my Christian YouTube prophecy channel, Revelation News. I was one of the bigger prophecy guys in the beginning because the big guys weren't on there yet. So I was one of the bigger channels, and she was a commenter. And I talked to her a few times. We talked on the phone a few times about the Bible and stuff and current events and stuff like that. So she came
to your YouTube channel?
Yeah, in the comments, yeah. That's where I met her. And then I can't remember how she got my number, but we exchanged numbers somehow. I can't remember how. And she called me one day and said Rand Campbell, who was another Christian YouTube guy, his name on there was like God is on YouTube or something was his name. And she said, he needs to talk to you. So that's how I really met her and came into that community, which was the Great Debate community on YouTube.
The skeptic. So I was part of the skeptic community years ago on YouTube. So that was kind of the opposite of it.
Yeah, it fits in with it. Like Jack.
I'm literally looking for an archive right now. That's why I'm not commentating at this second. So just give me a second. I'm looking for an archive on that.
Jacqueline Glenn, right? You know her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That type of deal. It was like atheist versus Christian debate community thing. So that's how I really met her. And then you flash forward a few years, you go to 2017, and Chris broke up with her in a way that was, I don't agree with it. He basically cheated with another woman and walked in.
Do you know that for certain, though?
I mean...
do you know for certain that he said that it happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In an interview with the Geek Room, he admitted to cheating.
All right.
Yep.
I'll have to go back and reference that when I make my official video on Shanny, but I didn't know that, so that's the first time I'm hearing that.
Yep. Yeah, he admitted it.
Everybody in chat saying Chris said he did it. Okay, so yeah. All right.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
I didn't like that, but whatever. I made a promise to her. She was feeling that something bad was going to happen with their relationship, and she said, I need a Christian man in the community to stand up and say that he'll help me. And I gave her a picture of a ring.
Okay, let's speed through this. The Aria Graveyard Flowers does not have that archived, unfortunately. I don't think anyone archived that, unfortunately. At the time, I don't think we looked at it as anything crazy, but then looking back at it, it's like that shit was psychotic. I mean, we knew it was crazy, but there was so much going on. It was like whatever. And looking back at it, that would have been something great to archive.
You know,
how are you doing on the alcohol though? Like realistically. So I saw a video from you a couple days ago when Shanny was 302'd, right? Mm-hmm. And you were like crying like crazy. I didn't watch the whole thing. I only saw a little bit.
I'm drinking that. That's what I'm drinking. Cheap ass
Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Thunder, yeah. That's what I'm drinking. That's what I got.
All right. Well, just don't get too invested in alcohol, especially during this time, because when feelings and emotions are on the rise, it's very easy to just go to a bottle, right?
You're right.
And alcoholism will never improve any aspect of your life. Like drinking's fine, but like actually like being drunk, and you've admitted that you've been a drunk in the past, so it's a very you have.
Mima, welcome in. Did I miss anything? Anyone coming in? Oh, hamburgers, welcome in.
The implication of easily just resorting
Aphrodite, I don't think I welcomed you either. Welcome in.
to drinking all the time to suffocate emotions and feelings.
You're right. You're right. And I have to check that. Yeah. But honestly, the couple drinks I had were just celebratory. And I really don't feel like I have that much of a problem with it anymore. But should I stay away from it? Yeah. Not just for getting back into it could pull me back.
Good preachers are great illustrators of the story. I like that.
Into the bottom like I was at one point. It's not just that, but it gives me such blaring headaches now. It's not even enjoyable. It's not something I even like doing no more. So
right.
I'm done with it. I am.
All right.
That's the type of shit he'll tell his rehab counselors. It gives me headaches. I don't even feel good when I drink it anymore. I'm just so done with it. I don't even enjoy. And then the second Shanny fucking leaves, he's fucking pissed drunk all day long, every fucking night. Like, bro, his alcoholism is bad. Lauren, you're right. I think he was drinking here as well. You're right.
Yeah. Well, if you need resources for that stuff, let me know. Like, you have my number.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that big time.
So I saw you on like DP podcast. I think was it yesterday or the day before?
That might have been 3 days ago now.
Yeah. And you seem pretty drunk, but I don't know. I don't want you to hurt yourself or do something crazy.
Morning Ruth, thank you so much. $5 for the YouTube. Thank you for the distraction from the real world. Morning Ruth, thank you so much. You're amazing. So he calls him out and says, Jason's saying, I don't even like alcohol anymore. It gives me headaches, blah, blah, blah. So I'll rewind this 15 seconds. Calls him out and says, well, I just saw you on the Drunken Peasants like 2 nights ago and you were pissed drunk.
So I saw you on like DP podcast. I think was it yesterday or the day before?
That might have been 3 days ago now.
Yeah. And you seem pretty drunk, but I don't know. I don't want you to hurt yourself or do something crazy.
I was feeling it. Because when I'm fully gone, you'll know it. Like the behavior is not.
Excuse me. Oh, I was feeling it because when I'm fully gone, when I'm out of it, the behaviors. Like, bro, just say you were drunk. Yeah, I drank that night. Like, motherfucker. Is he trying to pretend that he wasn't drunk on that stream? I don't think he's trying to pretend that. But if he is, that is wild because he was literally talking about on that stream how he wanted to go get more Fireball. Thank you, Miss Bands, for saying Fireball because I forgot that it was Fireball. I always just think he's drinking Natty Daddies. But yeah, he was drinking Fireball that night. And I think he was like showing it on stream. Okay, Aria, no problem. I think he was showing it on stream and drinking on stream. And he was out and he was talking about how he wanted to get more. So I don't know if he's trying to lie like he wasn't drunk. But I guess we'll see what he says.
I was feeling it. Because when I'm fully gone, you'll know it. Like the behavior is not okay at all. So like I know my line, and once I go past that, I get offline because it's not good. It's just not good.
That's
so yeah, alcohol in general for me now is stay away. But
Okay, so what, for 24 hours? You don't have the right to say that until you have a certain amount of time sober. You can't use in the morning and then at nighttime be like, yeah, I'm done with that shit. I don't touch that shit anymore. I don't do it anymore. Exactly, Kristen. Exactly. He definitely drank probably every day. He probably drank this day on the interview. Because that's the thing with addicts, whether it's alcohol or any type of drug, you don't just go days without having it and then do it. Like every single day you fucking need it. Your whole mission is get that. Nothing else happens until you get it in your system. Period. So you don't just skip a few days and then drink and then not drink the next day. When you're this level of alcoholic, I'm not talking about like normal people. And binge drinkers are a separate story because they drink for like 2 days straight and then take like a week off. That's like a different type of thing.
For the feeling in my body, even my body tells.
But he's saying how like, oh, I know once I hit a certain line, I get offline, blah blah blah. You were pissed drunk on the Drunken Peasant stream, and the only reason why you stopped drinking was because you drank the whole bottle. And you were literally talking about how you wanted to get another bottle. And if you didn't have, and because you don't have a valid ID, I think the store that sells him the shit without an ID because they know him or whatever was closed at the hour. And the only store that was open would have asked for an ID. Exactly. He was smashed and ran dry. The only store that was open because the people on the Drunken Peasants were looking up stores that were open, even to DoorDash it, I think, to him because they wanted him to keep drinking more because they were drinking or whatever. And I think the only store that was open would have ID'd him, and he doesn't have a valid ID. So that's the only reason why he didn't have more that night. He was fucking fiending. He was fiending for more. Literally, he was asked this long question, and the response is like, yeah, man, I really want more alcohol. Like he completely disregarded what they said and just was only thinking about more alcohol. Yeah, morning Rue, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Half a glass of red wine, fourth glass of honesty.
Tells me, stop that. Don't do it. It's bad for you, man.
Cheers.
Okay. Let's move off of alcohol. So you guys meet for the
Tracy, welcome in.
first time. She knows about your inheritance. Tell me about the inheritance process. Specifically, why did you inherit $700,000? And what happened to that specifically? So you inherited why did you inherit $700,000? And what do you think that Shani got with you specifically for that inheritance?
Okay, I didn't inherit 700,000. I inherited 250,000.
Here we go. The story changes again.
50,000 that I turned into 700,000.
Bullshit.
You turned it.
How many have seen the clip where they're what's that? Those websites where you used to come on camera and you used to press like go or whatever, and it would just put you in a room with another random person on webcam, and like 50% of the people on there were just dudes with their dick out jerking off, but it would just match you with like random people. He would go on those websites with Shani on live stream. And there, Omegle, yeah, and there was like another one, but Omegle was the most popular. He used to go on there, and there's like a very popular clip from that time where there's like a teenage girl that he's like trying to like flex for, and he's like, yeah, I work for Wells Fargo, and I do trading or whatever, and he's like, I make money doing stocks, blah, blah. And this like teenage girl was like, you don't work at Wells Fargo. And she's like laughing at him and shit. And he gets super butthurt and like bugs out on this fucking minor. It was yeah, it was funny to see a child call him on his shit. Nightmare, welcome in, by the way. Ladybug, welcome in. Nobody's Ghost, welcome in. Yeah, the Shanster got with Rev because of that money. Amen, for real. Harry Mack was amazing on there. I think that name rings a bell. Hamburgers, let me try to find it.
Yeah.
How did you turn that? Well, not only is that a massive, like, that's a
return.
The return value is crazy. Like, if you had 250 and you made it 700,000, you better give me some financial advice, because clearly I'm doing something wrong myself, right? So how did you turn 250 into 700,000?
Apple stock.
Apple stock.
I kept rolling money into Apple stock, and eventually it split, and then it split twice, and then it split. My money was gone at that point, but it split 3 times. If we still had the money, we would have been millionaires, me and Shani. We would have been like 10 million, decamillionaire.
So you took 250,000, all of that you inherited, and you just thrusted it towards Apple shares, invested.
Slowly, yep. I would take little amounts of the dividends that were coming in from other stocks, and I was piping it all into Apple, and that was a good move. It was it was a good move.
I missed out. I should have slid in your DMs and asked you what's some financial advice.
It went well for that time. It did. And where did it go?
Unfortunately, I can't find it. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but it's a hilarious clip. Now, here's what I believe. Omega was used for inappropriate things. Yeah, it was, especially towards the later years. But I remember, because when it first got popular, I was a child. I was like 14 or 15 years old. So I remember going on there with my buddies when we were in like 9th or 10th grade. And we had a ton of fun on it. And back then, I don't remember just dicks. I remember it just being a lot of people. You would run across the occasional dick. But then years later, it became literally like 50% just cocks. Let's see. I've never heard of someone going through that much money and going through it in no time and not having a damn thing to show for it. Donna, for real. Not only that, they had 2 houses and the money. So who the fuck knows? What I believe happened when Jason says I had $250,000 and then I made it 700,000. I believe that he inherited 250 grand in cash and somewhere between 400,000 and 500,000 that was in a portfolio in stocks. And Shani, at some point, they fired his financial advisor, the person that was doing the stocks for him, because they were blaming them for losing the money. But in reality, what was probably happening was Shani came in, money started bleeding out. Jason was pulling money out of his portfolio, and the financial advisor was probably going, hey, Jason, what the fuck is going on? Where the fuck is this money going? Because it went from his money being stable and him making money off of his portfolio to just money getting drawn out and drawn out and drawn out and drawn out. So at some point, they fired his financial advisor, and that was definitely because Shani didn't want to be called out anymore by the financial advisor. And then Shani became his financial advisor. At one point, they invested a decent amount of money into crypto. I don't remember if it was like 20 or 50,000, but it was to most people a substantial amount of money, and it crashed. And when it crashed, they ripped the money right out. I don't remember what the number was, but let's just say, for example, they put 10 grand into it. Within a certain amount of time, it crashed to like 500 to 1,000, and they ripped it out. Instead of just leaving it there, you already lost 90% of your investment. You might as well ride it out and see if it goes back up. And if they left it in there today, it probably would have went back up, knowing what happened with crypto. He still would have had that money if he had to work and not just gave it, I believe. Oh, yeah. If he wasn't handed the money, Lauren, 100%. 100%. Items don't mean shit to you if they're just handed to you. When I was given shit as a kid, I took care of my stuff, but now as an adult that I work for my stuff, I like really, really fucking take care of it. Because I know I look at my money and my items as how many hours I had to put in to get that. So when you look at your finances as how many hours you put in to get that item or that amount of money, you start to be like, yeah, I don't want to fucking spend that right now, or I'm going to take care of this a lot better. Nobody's ghost. Yeah, Shani fired the financial advisor and then took over, right? And then it was only within like 6 months after that, they were completely broke. Sorry, folks, I'm here, but not listening, checking in occasionally because it's Twin Peaks Day every year. We have our annual Twin Peaks Marathon starting. Ruby, that sounds fun. No problem at all. I appreciate you, though. Mother of Dragons, welcome in. Finally done with everything for today. That's a good feeling. That's a really good feeling. All the hauls were for her kids and maybe one item for... All the hauls were for her, nothing for the kids and maybe one for Jason. Yeah. We didn't see one fucking thing purchased for those kids. Like, if I was a parent, I don't have any kids, but if I was a parent and I went from being broke to having money, that's what I'd be fucking doing. I'd be like, hey guys, you want to go to the store? You want to go fucking shopping and buy whatever the fuck you want, and see the joy on their faces of picking everything out. Like, that would feel fucking amazing. But instead, she was worried about filling the empty black hole in her soul, which can never be filled unless she gets therapy. Your dad won't touch cryptocurrency and he's a senior broker. Yeah, I hear a lot of trading people and financial people say they won't touch crypto. I would love to have that money spoil my kids and grandkids. Right, because it feels amazing when you fucking bless other people. Anyways, sorry.
Marijuana.
Okay, so you made $700,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At this point, when you had a total of $700,000, how fast did you lose that?
Holy shit. 3 years in Colorado.
So in 3 years, you and Shani spent $700,000.
Correct.
That's wild. That's
Ain't
crazy, man. So I have to ask, how did you spend that much in such a short amount of time? Like three years and 700,000 is an astronomical amount of money.
That's wild.
Let's break that down really quick. 700 grand over 3 years. Okay. That's $233,333 per year. Per month, that's 20 grand. They spent $20,000 per month, and we know they weren't paying the rent. We know they weren't paying the car note because that got repoed. We know they weren't paying any of their other fucking bills. CJ, you son of a bitch. That was my next one. Yeah, that's an average of $650 per day. An average of between $640 and $650 a day. That's what some people clear in a week, working 40 hours. And that's how much Shani was blowing every single day. Could you imagine waking up in the morning, you do nothing all day but stream and sit home, and somehow you still spend $650, and not one thing goes to your kids. It's all for you. Fucking wild.
So you said marijuana, but like there has to be other things. There's no way you can spend $700,000 on weed. Like, I don't think that's human.
They'll never have anything. If $750,000 only lasted 2 years, no amount of money would ever be enough. Not to mention they're both worth less than $725 an hour as an employees. Yeah, they're fucking worthless as employees. I mean, not like they would have to pay me for me to hire them as employees. They look like fucking scumbags. They smell like shit. Their teeth are falling out of their fucking faces. It would hurt your business to have them as an employee. And then, yeah, it doesn't matter how much money you put in their hands. It's going to be gone. You could give Rev 50 grand right now. Most people, if you handed them 50 grand, they could get their life in a decent spot. They could go from homeless to being in an okay spot as long as they got a job. Rev would lose the money in a month and be in the same spot.
Possible.
No, that wasn't all it was. It was regular living costs, which were higher because we were living in nice areas in Colorado, but also having to move so many times because of trolls calling landlords and getting us kicked out and causing problems with cops and blah, 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 blah. So there were a lot of moves too. And a lot of times we had to leave everything and then buy everything new again because of the circumstances were crazy.
And how many times did that happen? You guys leave everything, move to another one, leave, move.
3. And that was a huge chunk of money. I'm going to tell you that. Was it 700 grand? No, but it was a chunk of money. And every time is a deposit with the extra money.
So the first, do you remember how much rent was at those places that you were staying?
The last one was crazy. It was $3 grand a month. Covell.
That is a lot.
And
$3 grand a month, but they had security, and that's why we went there.
Tell them you didn't pay $1.
So I'm more curious. So if you had all this, let's just go back to your first move, right?
So Repzion's under the impression that they spent $3 grand a month at that place. They didn't. They did not pay any of the rent. I believe Shani lost a huge chunk of it on stupid crypto investments. It must be Allsy. It was really only I don't think it was more than 50,000. If I remember correctly, it was like 20 or 25 grand. But let's just even shoot it high, right? Let's see. So even if they spent 50,000 on the crypto, that's only 1/14 of the money. And I don't even think it was 50 grand. So say it was 25 grand, that's only 1/28 of the money.
Mm-hmm. So you get into this apartment, you guys have a lot of money, trolls
20.
Screw up with your life,
yeah.
You guys get harassed through online trolls, whatever, what have you, right?
Yep.
Why leave?
Arya, that's a good point, Ryan. I think he was getting Rev to lie about certain things so that when he makes the documentary, he can prove he's lying. That's a good point. Now, Arya, do you think that he was intentionally getting Rev to lie? Or do you think it was he was just giving Rev enough slack to hang himself? Because I don't know that I don't think he's walking him in any direction. I think he's just showing him the cliff and letting him jump. Okay, yeah. So you think he's just giving him enough rope to hang himself. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what he's doing as well. I keep forgetting that he's making a documentary. So, no, I knew what you meant, Arya. I knew what you meant. I just wanted to make sure that's what you meant. They blame it all on crypto losses and moving. They maybe lost 60,000 on all of that. And the other part is Jason was making a certain amount per year off of his portfolio. I forget the exact numbers, but it was somewhere in the ballpark of $40,000 to $50,000 was being generated off of his portfolio. So that was enough money to really pay rent and bills, even though they didn't even need to fucking do that. If they would have just stayed in the house that was free and clear for Rev to own, that 50 grand would have paid for a lot of shit, and they wouldn't have been hacking into that money that's sitting. If I was making $5,000 a month off a portfolio, that money wouldn't be touched until I was like 70 years old. I would say, why that money can't come out. That's my money to pay my bills. It makes me $5,000 a month. I would never pull that money out until I'm at a point in life where, you know, I only got 10 years left and I'm ready to fucking start living a little extra, you know? Allsy, I think the Apple shares thing was all bullshit. Because Rev claims he had 250 and that he tripled it with Apple stocks. In my opinion, that was all bullshit.
Leave everything though.
I know.
If you have, that's what I don't like. Why leave everything? Because I watched a video. I don't know if you know what video that is, but there was a video of I don't know if it was a leasing agent or a landlord going through one of the places that you lived. And I will say the place was actually really nice. Like the apartment is very nice. It is way nicer than what I'm living in right now. It is, and the stuff that I saw on there made me nearly vomit. Like, I know. Living conditions of the house. It was a couple-story house, and it was just like horrendous. There was poop and shit, and grime, and the kids' beds. There was piss stains and like feces, and I just was like, what? So I guess my question is going back. So your first move, why leave everything though? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, it was the circumstances, because every time that they would flood a landlord with so many calls at once, it became, no, you got to get out, not just, you know, they have processes, right? You got to be out in this amount of time. They literally say...
Typically, it's 30 days.
Typically, yes. But they would pull shit with lawyers, I guess, and stuff, and we had to be out in a week.
Here comes a
7 days, gone. So the circumstances were such that a lot of times we couldn't coordinate getting like a U-Haul and all that stuff. I'm telling you, dude, living in the situation we were in together was so uncomfortable that a lot of times we would just get lost by smoking weed and completely not taking care of shit that needed to be taken care of quick. So what's the consequence? We leave everything, jump in the car, pack clothes and shit, and go to another place. That's what it was. Just mentally ill.
You did that 3 times?
3 times.
That's crazy, man. Like,
Three.
Do you understand in retrospect how crazy that is? So I saw I don't know how old this. I was watching something a couple weeks ago with you. You and Shanny were in the background, and I saw like a stack.
They didn't pay the rent for 6 or 7 months at that place. They moved in, never paid the rent once. God, look how scary his face looks there. It looks like something out of a fucking horror movie. They moved in that place, didn't pay the rent for 6, 7 months. And they try to act like they were shocked that they were getting evicted. It's such bullshit. Straight victim status. What? We only got until Sunday to get out of here, otherwise the cops coming to kick us out? How could they do this to us? Well, maybe because you haven't paid them in 7 months. Not one fucking rent bill. And then they act shocked. And I do believe that they had a 30-day notice. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been legal. So they definitely had to have had a 30-day notice. They just lied about it
on a shelf
for sympathy
of a bunch of PlayStation 2 games.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I want those.
I know. I want
those. You left them? You left PlayStation 2? Do you know how much those games are worth now?
I do know that, Rep. And the deal is, I put everything I could into that Durango. It was literally puffed out with stuff. And it was really rare shit. So I kept...
Nothing has value to them. It's such a good point. Jason never had to worry about anything. He was handed shit his whole life. Like, I literally think Jason didn't think there was a bottom to the fall. I think he just thought that everything was never going to end because he never suffered in his life because his mom babied him. So he never thought that, you know, the money will just be gone and then we'll have nothing. And then that's it. There's no more after that. Like, you only have yourself to pull yourself back up after this. I don't think he realized that was coming. And Shani has done nothing but hop from man to man to man to man to man. Whatever man can benefit her the most this week, she's going to run and hop to. So I don't think she gave a shit. I think in her eyes, she thought, I'm going to spend as much of this money as I can. When it's gone, I'm going to go to G-Man. And if it isn't G-Man, then next guy.
That stuff. The
Donna, yeah, this is pretty good.
PS2 games, I've thought to myself, well, bro, you can literally get huge lots of PS2 games on eBay for not that much money. eBay's amazing still.
It is.
But
I use it for Pokemon card stuff.
there you go. Exactly. It's great for that. And Magic the Gathering's my shit. That's what I used to love. But yeah, man, I had all of that shit, and I built that up over a like 1 year period, and I spent only $1,000 on like all of it, except the Neo Geo, because Neo Geo's shit is super expensive.
It is.
I had a Neo Geo in the frickin' box, dude. I gave it to G-Man.
The G-Man seems to have a lot of things that he's taken from you guys. We'll get into that later, but
Oh boy.
Okay. He
so
has quite a bit.
Going
yeah.
back to you guys moved 3 times. You leave everything.
Mm-hmm.
What was the landlord's reasoning for why you guys like left? Like what? Yeah, like they have to give you a reason. Like, are you violating?
They considered us a nuisance to the community. That was always what. Yep, that was always the reason.
That was probably very valid, right? I would assume.
Yeah, because the trolls would flood, literally, Rep, like 500.
So it wasn't because no rent was ever paid or anything? Mm-mm. Was rent paid?
Always. Yep.
Always.
Come on. Come on. How can he look in the camera with a straight face and answer, always?
They considered us a nuisance to the community. That was always what. Yep. That was always the reason.
That was probably very valid, right? I would assume.
Yeah, because the trolls would flood, literally, Rep, like 500.
So it wasn't because no rent was ever paid or anything? Mm-mm. Was rent paid?
Bitch with dogs, welcome in.
Always. Yep.
Always. Okay.
Always. I never had a problem paying rent because we had plenty of dividends coming in. Plenty. To cover both places, Glenwood and the Habitat, the first 2, we could cover them no problem. Covell broke the bank over time because it was $3,000 a month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it broke the bank. That was it.
And that was pre-COVID.
That's right. And I'm telling you, Westminster's not cheap to live in. It's a bougie area. So,
all right.
It is what it is, man.
Speaking of Westminster, the only reason why I know the town Westminster, have any of you heard of the YouTuber called Colorado Ped Patrol? Colorado Pedophile Patrol. That's what the name should be, but he calls it Colorado Ped Patrol, or CPP. He's based out of Colorado. He goes around and does like they catch predators. It's entertaining as fuck. They like get these guys that were gonna meet up with children, and then they fucking bust them on live stream. Turn Toast, you've heard of him? You live by there? Have you seen his content? Turned Tommy with Colorado Ped Patrol. I've been watching the dude for like fucking 5 years. YouTube keeps deleting his channels.
All right.
Have you ever seen him in person at all, Turnt? Seems like he's got a lot of issues going on in his life too, but whatever. I feel like he's doing a noble thing. We all got our own fucking flaws. Gideon does good ones, and Skeeter Jean. CJ, yeah, I've seen Gideon and Skeeter Jean. Skeeter Jean's Nobody's Ghost. YouTube deletes all of them. All the people that are busting predators, they fucking delete their channels. In CPP, Colorado Ped Patrol, he's not being aggressive. He doesn't do anything violent. When he shows up and meets the guys, he's super professional. He literally tells them like, hey, I'm here to talk to you about what this chat book that I have in my hand. There's no violence. There's not a crazy amount of swearing. YouTube still deletes all of his channels. but they keep coming back. He's got a great support base under him. He'll make a new channel and they'll have like fucking 20,000 subscribers in a week. Yeah, nobody. They mess with all the fucking channels that do that stuff on YouTube. Oh, hamburgers, you tagged Pacific? I don't see Pacific. What the fuck is going on with YouTube? I'm assuming that's Pacific CC. YouTube is so the YouTube's chat is so jacked up right now. Let's see if I can see them in my chat if I go on my phone. Now I see fucking Pacific. Let's see if I can see their last comment. Hang on, I'm just looking at my chat real quick. I want to see if it's what's going on here. Yeah, I see it. Rev was so concerned with keeping his trashy girlfriend in a bougie neighborhood. I don't understand why that comment didn't come up on my fucking chat. Guys, if you're coming in saying hi or whatever, and I'm missing your comment, it's definitely not intentional.
So
Courtney Nicole, welcome in. Anyone else come in?
That gives me a lot of clarity on things and stuff. I want to talk about G-Man, actually, since G-Man was brought up.
Okay.
So G-Man, from what I've been researching, G-Man sold a house from under you guys. Is that correct?
No.
Sold something under Shanny?
I don't know if you'd put it that way. We gave him a house, my house in Scranton that I used to live in.
No.
You gave him?
Shanny gave him your house, and you are too much of a pushover to do anything about it. Could you imagine showing up and handing this guy that you met on YouTube the deed to your home and signing it the fuck over to him for $1?
For $1, yeah.
Why?
He was homeless, and I didn't need that house anymore. I intended on staying in Colorado. So I said, wait, G-Man's homeless? Screw that. We're going to give him the house for $1.
No, that's not what happened. Shanny did it. And also, it doesn't matter. Why not just let him live in the house for free then, you fucking idiot? Why would you sign the deed over to him? Say, hey, fix up my house and make sure it's taken care of. You can stay there for free. Anyone would be so grateful for that. They wouldn't be like, yeah, well, I'm only going to do it if you give me the house too. But you fucking idiots signed the house over to him.
Jesus, man, I'm in the wrong place. I could have had a house from you for $1.
If I knew you then, Rep. And
I don't understand why sell the house for $1 to him though.
Scoot, yo, what's going on? G-Man is that dude in Blade Runner. I'd buy that for $1. I've never seen Blade Runner.
Like, what's the motive? Like
hamburgers,
because
right?
I knew he could never.
Aria, that's possible. Who knows? Was the gray worth it? Freddie Flamingos, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you've been well.
Afford paying for the full house. I mean, it's $160,000 house, so he would never be able to pay me that. So I just wanted the guy to have a roof over his head. I cared about him as a Christian. So
you sold a house to G-Man for $1 out of good nature because you just enjoyed his presence as a friend.
Just because I knew him from YouTube. I really enjoyed what he did correcting the doctrine of Black Hebrew Israelite individuals. I liked that content. And I was like, no way, there's not going to be a brother on the street. I can't give him the house for $1. I don't care. Do it.
A brother.
And we...
Man.
A brother. So he's like a brother to you. So much so that as soon as you don't speak to him anymore, you can call him racial slurs.
And we, you know,
Yeah, that is something else, man. I would love to buy a house for $1. Well, if you ever get a house again, let me know and I'll buy you. I'll give you $1,000 for a house because that was a good deal for G-Man. So G-Man got the house. There was no like scam or it had nothing to do with taxes or anything. You just give him the house for $1.
that's right. And then over time, of course, because of costs of the house, it can become a burden to people because there's bills.
Yeah, there's
big,
property taxes for houses. Like in
Yeah.
my state, it's not cheap. Like you have a $500,000 house, it's like $6,000-7,000 a year of property taxes.
Holy shit. Yeah, exactly. And Scranton, just Scranton tax alone. The last time I paid it, and now it's I can't imagine what it is now. But just the
Donna.
city tax was over $3,000 a year. That's like, whoa. That's pretty bad. $3,000 in taxes for just 1 year. That's rough.
No,
but,
it's
you know,
not.
it goes to pay for everything in the city, allegedly. So,
That's $250 a month. And in case you didn't know, Jason, most normal adults factor that in monthly so that at the end of the year, they don't say, oh, I got to come out of pocket a few $1,000s for taxes right now. They factor it in monthly with their rent or with their mortgage, not rent, with their mortgage. So if it's $3,000, they would be putting $250 a month aside or paying in $250 a month. Yes, it did. The taxes were behind, just like the one he gave Tommy. He just lies. Yeah, Kay, he does. Imagine having $750,000 and $3,000 a year blows your mind. That's a week. That's a week of work, right? Fucking guy. I'm a renter for life. Hey, there's benefits to renting.
Interest, that's
Well,
fat.
everything has its pros and cons. Every fucking thing in life has its pros and cons. I will never understand why he did not fix those houses up and rent them out for passive income. Mother of Dragons. He was making, CJ said $5,000. I don't remember what the exact amount per month he claimed that he was bringing in from the from his portfolio. But if it was $5,000, that would be $60,000 a year. Yeah, $60,000 a year. If he were to have those houses fixed up, right? So he had all that money, take $100,000 out of the money he had, fix up the houses, and now you're renting them each out. Let's just go on the low end, $4,000 a month. So now you're making $9,000 a month. You're almost doubling your monthly income, and that's shooting it on the low side. So if you're making $9,000 a month, now you're making $108,000 a year. Now, obviously, to upkeep the houses, let's just factor in $20,000. We'll shoot it high with the taxes and stuff. $25,000. He would have been left with $85,000 per year after paying the taxes on the houses and upkeep on the houses, and that's with like really upkeeping the houses. He would have been set for life. Could you imagine this dipshit alone being left with $85,000 a year to put in his pocket? He would feel like he was rich, and he would never have to work ever.
Fascinating. All right. So
I say
are
allegedly.
are you on good terms with G-Man?
Courtney, you're right.
I wouldn't. No.
Why? Why?
Well,
I don't know the lore between you two at all. Like, I'm completely naive and ignorant to it, and I'm not even being sarcastic here.
I believe him when he says he doesn't know the lore, but I do think he knows he called them racial slurs, because look at the look on Repzion's face when he's saying, why aren't you guys friends anymore? I'll rewind it and play it and watch his face when he's asking him why. You can tell he knows something's up there. Like, he probably doesn't know everything, but I think he knows he ended up calling them racial slurs and shit. Rev as a landlord would be a disaster. He would not perform any upkeep or maintenance and would get sued in a heartbeat. Really good bad boy? Yeah, exactly. You're right. But there's companies to do that, you know? You could pay a company, a property management company. They handle everything for you, and you don't have to deal with shit. And that'd be the smart thing to do, because then you don't even have to deal with the tenants. You don't even have to deal with if the tenants leave and you need new ones. The property management company would handle all that. And then you literally just have something making you profit that you don't even have to put a minute into.
Say
Are
allegedly.
you on good terms with G-Man?
But watch him here when he's asking him why they're not on good terms. You can tell he knows by looking when he's asking why that he said some crazy shit to him.
I wouldn't. No.
Why?
Why? Well,
Look, I don't know the lore between you two at all. Like, I'm completely naive and ignorant to it, and I'm not even being sarcastic here in my tone. Like, I genuinely don't know what's up with that. Like,
okay,
you guys are not close to somebody who you sold a house to for $1.
I know. Things happened. Words were said, hurtful words on both sides. Lies were told, and I just. The possibility of a friendship in my mind is just like I was telling you before. How could I do it? If you know somebody would look at any number of people and lie to their audience directly about you and they know they're lying, how could I be his friend again?
What a jackass. You started this interview. Repzion asked you if you ever lied for Shani, and you said, yep, I did. So literally what you're saying applies to you, you fucking idiot.
G-Man lie to you about, or lie about you two on his YouTube
Andrea, welcome in.
channel?
I mean, all the slander about CA, the stuff with the kids, man. Look, we got letters in the mail, and I read them on air. I think it was on Loudmouth Hussey, that interview. I read those letters out live. And
From what, CPS?
Yes. And they said from the start, the CA stuff was unfounded. There was no proof of it, none. So they said, we are not going to bother you with this anymore. You're not going to hear about it again, because we did a full investigation of both states. Even they did a cross-state investigation with Colorado and verified that there was never any evidence of abuse on the boys ever.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Shani lose custody of her children?
She lost. Okay, which time? Okay, because there's two times.
Both. I want to know both.
Okay, in 2012, she lost them because of a self-termination attempt.
Okay.
They were taken away from her for like a year, and then in the meantime, she found my channel, dropped to her knees, and prayed to Christ, and she saw his feet, and she had a very religious, you'd say, experience, and found Christ, and said, please, Lord, if you could do one thing, just get me my children back. And they did come back. They did. She got them back.
So she was suicidal, essentially.
Yes.
And that's why she lost them the first time. Why was the second time?
The second time, she didn't lose them the second time. It's not the right way to put it, because there was no court involved in it. There was no battle. CPS came to our place in Scranton while we were staying there with G-Man owning the place. And it was no longer a possibility for us to afford feeding the whole household. It became impossible with the amount of money that there was there for EBT card. So it was decided that the best move to make, not just in the food thing, but me being in the household with them now after the Zach thing, that's another issue. And so there were two issues mainly. But the main issue was we couldn't feed the boys correctly anymore.
Okay.
There was not enough money to do it.
I mean,
though Shani,
that's a valid reason to take kids if you can't feed them.
Shani was maintaining 600 pounds, which probably took 5,000 to 6,000 calories per day to maintain, but they couldn't afford to feed the boys anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's very valid. But they didn't take them. That's not an accurate way.
Okay, Elise. I think that's the time they were taken for a year when they were 1 and 3. Shani never cared about the kids. No, not at all.
Putting it, because when you take kids from somebody, there's court involved. This was voluntary. The boys said, yeah, we want it. And mom and dad said, mom, reluctantly, she didn't want to give them. She didn't want to say go. But she said, yes. I said, absolutely. It's the best thing for them. So that's what happened. That's not the kids being taken. It's not.
That's kind of sad, though. Like, that's really
It's
sad.
horrible. It's horrible, yeah. But it was a consequence of bad action in Colorado. There were times when things were very messed up because of mainly being too high, I would say.
Were you guys ever on food stamps at any point with providing for the kids or no?
Oh yeah, all for years. Yeah, we were on EBT even at the end of Colorado. Shanny signed up for EBT because
How do you get that though if you have like a bunch of money though and you're living in like a place that has like rents to that? Like I don't know. I thought that's for low income.
That's true. But if you got kids, then it could be considered like supplemental nutrition SNAP program.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Right.
No, what it was you two dipshits didn't get married because Jason had that type of money. And Shani was claiming no job, no money, nothing, like she was just a poor woman with nothing in her name. So that's why she got food stamps. Because in the government's eyes, there was no other way for those kids to get fed other than the government giving them handouts. If Jason and her would have gotten married, she would have lost the benefits immediately. Maybe later on, once all the money was gone, they probably would have been able to get benefits again. However, in my opinion, there should be something where if you've ever had a certain amount of money in your life, you shouldn't be able to get government assistance. In most cases. If it's a case like this where you had close to $1 million and you pissed it away being an irresponsible piece of shit, just an utter leech on society, not paying any of your bills, being just a piece of shit drunk and driving around drunk most likely, and, DV cases, being assholes to the police, hitting cars at your son's school and driving away, and then when the cops come, you give them an attitude. Anyways, if you lose close to $1 million based off of those type of circumstances, you should never be allowed to be given government assistance. Because it's like, while we're out here working 9 to 5, busting our asses, paying our fucking bills, this whole time, these people lived 3 years like they were rich millionaires when they weren't. They were not millionaires. They weren't rich. They had a decent amount of money that could have changed their life, that could have made them live a comfortable life forever. But they decided to live like they were millionaires, and that's why it only lasted 2 to 3 years. Was she on money while they had benefits? Yes, she was. And they also made fun of people who had food stamps while they were wealthy. And Shani was actively getting food stamps at that time. And it was an accident. Shani accidentally slipped up and said they were on food stamps. Shani was drawing food stamps before they lost the money. Yes. Yeah, hippier. Yes. Danielle, welcome in. Getting $800 a month while having $750,000 is disgusting. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's what I've heard too, 6 times. He was lying his ass off. The kids were taken 6 times. They did not want to go, according to William. He's such a liar. No, I heard that the kids did not want to go. Yeah, Dragon, she definitely defrauded the government. Saying water is for peasants. They talked about they said Tyrone's eating steak on food stamps. Bitch, you're a fat ass white woman. You are the fucking example of white trash. You are the reason why the word white trash was fucking invented. And you're gonna say Tyrone eating steaks on food stamps while you're getting food stamps with your fucking boyfriend has $750,000 in the fucking bank and 2 houses in his name, living in a $3,000 a month apartment, not paying the rent or your car payment, and you're going to talk about black people? Fucking idiot. Okay, anyways, sorry. What time? It is almost 6. I have to go give Sadie her medication because it's 6 and get her dinner. So I'm going to jump off. Let me check something really quick. We were looking at a possibly a little bit of snow tomorrow. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of up in the air on what's going to happen. If I do not, excuse me, if I don't have to snowplow tomorrow, then I'm going to stream. If I do have to snowplow, I'll be here Thursday. I'll make a post and let you guys know what the deal is. Sadie, you ready for dinner? You ready for dinner? She's still all jacked up from the freaking being put under today. Nobody's Ghost, of course. Thank you for being here. Lauren, thank you for being here. Tina, thank you for being here. Aria, I appreciate you for being here. Courtney Nicole, thank you. Hippier, Alzi, Danielle, thanks for coming in at the end. Donna, thank you. Andrea, CJ, I appreciate you. Have a good night. Snappy Bakes, welcome in. Have a good night. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Worst case scenario, if I have to snowplow, I'll see you on Thursday. Everyone have a good rest of your night. Kristen, thank you. Have a good night.